Try now. Right. Thank you, yeah.
London, England. So glad to have you here early. For those joining us on the live stream on Bellator's official Facebook page, we welcome you as well to Wembley here in England as we get set for the weigh-ins for tomorrow night's return to the UK for Bellator MMA. It'll be a great show. 5 fights scheduled for the main card. And in the main event of the evening, it'll be the fight for a shot at the welterweight title. The winner will be the #1 contender as he makes his Bellator debut. Rory McDonald takes on the fighter from Nottingham, England, the knockout specialist, Mr. Semtex, Paul Daly. That's in tomorrow night's main event. We also feature the return of the former Bellator light heavyweight world champion, Liam McGeary's back in the cage. He's got a great contest, a fight with Vincent Vassell. 2 fighters from England now in the co-main event for tomorrow night's action. Today's weigh-ins and tomorrow night's fight all sanctioned by the Mohegan Tribe Department of Athletic Regulation. In attendance overseeing the weigh-ins and tomorrow night's action was Mr. Michael Mazzulli. I'm Bellator cage announcer Michael Williams. Again, officially welcome you. Behind me, as always, the lovely ladies from Bellator MMA, Mercedes, Sophie, thank you. And joining us here a little bit later to ask the fighters questions for the main card, fight analyst, the one and only, Mr. Jimmy Smith. And now, let's start with the prelim fights. We'll weigh in our first, again, prelims, moving up to the main card, and we'll end with tomorrow night's main event here on the scale. So we'll welcome the first fighters again from tomorrow's prelims. The first 2 fighters to weigh in will be Kulikan and Barboza. Gentlemen, if you make your way to the scale, we'll weigh in the blue corner first. First fighter on the scale, Salim, the Ram Man, Kulikan. Salim is getting ready. Joining us a little earlier on the stage than normal, please welcome Bellator President, Mr. Scott Coker. Mr. Coker, thank you. And again, the first fight on tomorrow night's prelims, set for the scale. There'll be 3 5-minute rounds, bantamweights. Official weight 135.5, 135.5. Now here's the opponent making his way to the scale, the Barbarian, Diego Barboza, originally from Brazil, fighting out of London, England. £136 pounds, 136 for Barboza. And the 2 fighters completely square off. And the next kicks off is 2 fighters bantamweights, Salim the Ram Man, Kulikan, and Diego Barboza. And your second fight to weigh in on the scales, it'll be middleweight set for 3 5-minute rounds, Proskal and Shipman. It'll be Proskal on the scale first. The fighter from Doncaster, England, Marcin, Matboy, Proskal. $185 1/4 pounds, 185.25. Now his opponent making his way to the scale and fighting out of the red corner, out of London, 9-1 as a professional. They call him Seabass, Mike Shipman. $185 3/4 pounds. 185 3/4 pounds. Put your hands together, please, for the middleweight monster, in your next fight on the scales for tomorrow night's prelims of Bellator MMA, it'll be Petley and Morton. First fighter on the scale, out of the blue corner, it'll be the Ninja, Jeremy Petley. Fighting out of London, his official weights. 148, 3/4 pounds, 148, 3/4 pounds for Petley. And his opponent making his way to the scale. Fighting out of the red corner, Chase E.T. Morton. $149 and 3/4 pounds, 149.75. Ladies and gentlemen, next up, middleweights. It'll be Edwards versus Sadowski. First up on the scale, out of the blue corner, will be the assassin, Fabian Edwards. With 84.5 pounds, 184.5 pounds for Edwards. And now his opponent making his way to the scale. Originally from Poland, now fighting out of Watford, England. Making his way to the scale, Rafael Sadowski. $185 pounds, even to the middleweight. Both fighters weigh in. Both fighters make weight. Edwards and Sadowski. Next up on the prelims for Bellator MMA tomorrow night at the SSC Arena, Wembley. It'll be welterweight set for 3 5-minute rounds. First up on the scale, it'll be Kiani. His opponent next, Jones. First up, the fighter out of London, they call him Bullet 2, Umar Kiani. 168, 3/4 pounds, 168 and 3/4 pounds. His opponent, fighting out of London, Mr. Bag and Tag, Nathan Jones. 169 pounds, even. 169 even. And the next fight on tomorrow night's prelims, flyweights 125 pounds, it'll be +1, so 125-pound weight class, 3 5-minute rounds. First up on the scale will be the fighter they call the powerhouse, Jamie Powell. 125.25 pounds, 25 in a quarter. And now his opponent fighting out of London. This is the Prince Amir Albazi. 125, 25 pounds. 125. The Prince. Both make weight in the fight. 3 5-minute rounds, flyweights. Jamie the powerhouse. Amir Prince Albazi. Next up on tomorrow night's prelims for Bellator MMA, it'll be heavyweights set to make their way to the scale. Kunika Ikonomo, first up on the scale, the fighter from Sheffield, Dan Kunika, official weight 227 and 1/2 pounds, 227.5. And his opponent, fighting out of Southend-on-Sea, England, originally from Cyprus. This is Stav, Crazy Bear Ikonomo. 260 and 3/4 pounds. 260.75. Official weight. Heavyweight set to throw down tomorrow night on the prelims for Bellator MMA, Dan Kunika and Stav Ikonomo. All right, next up, lightweight set for 3 5-minute rounds. First up on the scale on the blue corner will be Dodds, followed by Davis. First up, the fighter out of London, 6-0 as a professional, putting his undefeated record on the line. This is the prodigy, Jay Dodds. 154.75. 54.3 pounds. And his opponent out of London at 6-1 as a professional. This is Alfie A.R.D. Davis. 155 pounds even. 155. So that prelim card is set for tomorrow night. For those that might have just joined us on the Facebook site, we welcome you again, streamed live from Wembley here in England on Bellator's official Facebook site. Again, we welcome you. For those that are joining us here on site, we welcome you again once again. The prelim card is set. Now we'll move to the main card tomorrow night at the SEC Arena, Wembley here in England. On the main card, again, the main event features the debut of Rory McDonald against Paul Semtex Daly. In the co-feature, the former light heavyweight world champion is back. Heavyweights, Czech Congo and Sakai. And we'll kick it off right now with our first fight of the night. It'll be a catchweight bout set at 165 pounds. Griffin versus Baby Slice. The first fighter to make his way to the scale will be DJ Griffin, the fighter out of Everett, Washington, making his professional debut. Fighting out the blue corner. Set the scale first. Again, a catch weight at 165. Griffin's official weight, 164 pounds even. And his opponent fighting out of the red corner, returning to the Bellator cage after his Bellator and professional debut. He trains out of Long Beach, California, USA. Fighting out of Miami, Florida. 0-1 as a professional. This is Baby Slice. 5 foot, 165 pounds even, 165.
Slice them up, slice, no time. Slice them up pretty hard. You don't want it? Look at him shaking. Look at him. Turn away from the lid.
And again, to kick off tomorrow night's card. Seen on Channel 5, spectacular first fight around the world. Here is DJ Griffin, Baby Slice. And next fight, upset in the welterweight division. It'll be 170 pounds plus one. In two fighters, it'll be Dan Vinny against Alex Lahore. First fighter onto the scale, the fighter out of London, England. Please welcome Dan Vinny. 169.5 pounds, 169.5. And fresh off his successful Bellator debut in his last fight, the fighter out of London, originally from Paris, France. This is the kid, Alex Lahore. As a professional, near perfect at 11-1. 170 pounds even for Lahore. 11-1 is a professional, 9 finishes to his credit, 5 by knockout, 4 by way of submission. That's Lahore. Both fighters make weight. Vinny Lahore. Our second fight on tomorrow night's televised fight card. Dan Vinny, Alex Lahore. Next up in the heavyweight division, a veteran returns to the cage. He'll take on a power puncher who's made his way up to the ranks here at Bellator. First up on the scale out of the red corner will be the fighter from Curitiba, Brazil. 9-0-1 as a professional, 7 knockouts. To his credit, please welcome Augusto Sakai. $263.75 pounds. Less than 2 pounds under the heavyweight limit. Sakai weighs in, makes weight. We now go to the veteran. 26 wins as a professional, 10 losses. He's got 12 knockouts and 4 submissions to his credit. The fighter out of Paris, France. Please welcome Czech Congo. Just off a birthday celebration one day ago. Just a half piece of birthday cake, he tells us. 244, even. 244 pounds even. Heavyweights in the Bellator cage. Sakai, Congo. In the heavyweight division, both fighters on the way of Augusto Sakai, Congo. And now tomorrow night in the co-main event of the evening, a long-time light heavyweight title contender, in fact, fought one time for the title, will take on the former light heavyweight world champion for Bellator. We first welcome the fighter from Milton Keynes, England, at 17-5 as a professional. 13 finishes to his credit, 6 by knockout, 7 by way of submission. Please welcome Linton, the Swarm Vassell. And a official weigh 205 even. 205 pounds even.
You told us, I know Liam McGeary, I like him. I fight better against guys that I like. Why is that, man?
I don't know, I just like beating up all my mates. There's no actual real reason, but it seems that if you're my friend, then you know, you're gonna be, you know. After the boys in the gym, man, like I end hitting them hard, just that's the way I am. Like, yeah,
that's why we're not friends.
Okay, now,
Cool, great.
And his opponent making his way to the scale, the fighter out of Kingsland, Norfolk, England, the former Bellator light heavyweight world champion, near perfect as a professional, 12-1, 6 wins by knockout, 5 by submission. Here is the 6'6" former champ, Liam McGeary. 205 and 1/2 pounds for the McGeary. Back to Jimmy Smith.
Liam, you said I knew I was going to fight Lyndon Vassell eventually. We're both British, both in the same weight class. You knew it was going to happen. Has this fight felt like destiny to you?
Definitely. When I first started in the sport, he's been into the game for a lot longer than I have. I was 1-0 and I see his name on the list, so I knew one day we was going to fight. So I'm just glad it's happening in London. You know, the best place for it to happen.
Go on, man.
Guys.
Division. Again, in the co-feature for the night, we now go to the main event of the evening, making his Bellator debut, McDonald and the veteran, the Bellator veteran as well, Daly. First fighter making his way to the scale will be the fighter from Montreal, Quebec, Canada. His official record, 18-4, 7 wins by knockout, 6 by way of submission. Please welcome the Red King, Rory McDonald. 170 pounds even for McDonald, 107 pounds.
Rory, new promotion, new start to your career against Paul Semtex, one of the hardest hitters in MMA in his hometown. A lot of advantages for him, but you don't seem nervous at all. Tell the fans why, man.
I'm experienced, you know, I've been in the big fights before against these big kind of starters, and I had great preparation for this fight. I had a long layoff, and I'm hungry for blood, so tomorrow night I'm going hunting.
And his opponent in the main event, a veteran fighter, a Bellator veteran as well. His professional record, 39 wins, 14 defeats, 2 draws, an amazing 29 victories by knockout, 2 by way of submission, fighting out of Nottingham, England, coming off of a highlight reel, knockout of the year candidate in his last fight. Please welcome Paul Semtex. 170 and 3/4 pounds for Daly. Both fighters in the main event on the way. Again, the fight for the right to fight for the welterweight title, #1 contender coming out of this matchup in the main event. McDonald and Daly both on weight. For one final time, we go back Jimmy Smith.
I can interview guys in underwear. It's not even weird to me. I do it all the time. Paul, this is a fight you wanted. You called out Rory McDonald, a guy a lot of fighters want nothing to do with. After your big win last time, you called him out. The fight's in your hometown. This will put a lot of pressure on most guys. You said, hey, I'm relaxed. I felt better than I ever have. Why?
Because I'm prepared. I'm prepared mentally. You know, last time I fought in England, I wasn't where I'm at now. And I think Rory is underestimating me. Keeps referring to me as a slugger when he gets in there. I'm a little bit more than that. This shit's going to get real.
And we thank you, Mr. Scott Parker, for saying so. Thank Jimmy Smith. While the fight has began,